Okay, this is the test 2 guide for Ling 100. It is very similar to test 1. Same idea from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Vancouver time. It'll be open and it is in two parts. There is a multiple choice, multiple answer part, and there is a short answer part as well. You do the multiple choice, multiple answer before the short answer. It is 40 points for 20% instead of 15% like the first test. So 27 points come from multiple choice, multiple answer, or multiple drop-down menu questions. So there are two drop-down menu questions, seven multiple answer questions, and that leaves 18 multiple choice questions. So a drastic change in how many multiple choice and multiple answer questions there are compared to last time. I believe 45% of them were multiple choice in the first test, and now 66% of them are multiple choice in this one, so a bit of a change. You'll also have 60 minutes to do the multiple choice, multiple answer component compared to, I forget what the first one was, but it was not enough time. So this is a little over 2 minutes per question. Short answer is about the same amount of points, so 13 points in total over 4 questions. So last time was 3 questions, this time it's 4, and you will have 45 minutes to complete those instead of 30. So an extra 3 points, and you'll get an extra 15 minutes. So there wasn't too much of a time increase compared to the first test, but there still was a bit of a time increase. Most of you said that the time was fine on the first one. Okay. So overall, you'll have about 2 hours to do this one. Overall, the first test was about an hour for 15%, so 2 hours for 20%. It's a big jump, but this should make your comfort a little bit better for this test. So for lecture, I will be sitting in Zoom between 2:30 and 4:20 to answer any questions that you have. And there will be a lecture between 4:30 and 5:20 on that day. Of course, you don't have to do it during lecture time. You can do it anytime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. is when you can start, and then you'll have the 1 hour and 45 minutes afterwards to do each component. So if you do attend the live lectures and you want to ask questions, you can do it during the live class. There's time for that. Okay, same thing as before. It's open book. You can use anything I give you, but don't consult others. Don't use other materials, just the ones for the course. Okay, here's the breakdown. 20 points is from language acquisition. So this was 2 lectures. First language acquisition, second language acquisition. This was also a big portion of the assignment. So 10 points from multiple choice, multiple answer, and 10 points from short answer. The short answer, there's 3 questions on short answer. So it is a big portion of your short answer. So what to know for all of these is basically the lecture slides. You should be familiar with everything, and if you want to have the slides open for reference, that's a good idea. So what I recommend having are the morpheme acquisition. So anything to do with order of acquisition, order of acquisition, I recommend having those open or available for the test, especially the short answer section. So for one of your short answer questions, you will have to read 2 very short conversations between a child and an adult. So conversation A, conversation B, and you'll have to answer which child is more developed based on what they're saying. So you'll have to take a look at the morphemes they're using, and if they use any negation, what types of negations they're using. So you'll take a look at how developed they are, and you'll argue in 1 or 2 short sentences, point form is fine, which one is more developed. So basically, you'll say, child A is more developed, and here's the reason. This morpheme is used, this morpheme is used. In the other case, this morpheme is used, this morpheme is used, and these ones occur later in development. So that could be an answer. Question 2 is a sound simplification strategy. So you don't have to be as detailed as the assignment. It'll just be like basic substitution, basic simplification, basic assimilation. syllable deletion. You'll have to change some words. You'll have to identify how the word has been changed. So same thing as the assignment, just in less detail. And the third question, similar to the one on the assignment as well. You'll be asked about interference and transfer. So you'll have to change a sentence in one way, and you'll also be asked, comparing two speakers from two different languages, which speaker might have an easier time learning English based on their L1. So if you're not sure how to do that, I'd recommend looking up transfer in the slides and seeing what transfer is to figure out how you would understand which speaker or which languages might learn English a little bit easier than others. So again, point form reason for why you would choose which language or another. And you'll be given two specific speakers who speak two different languages for that. Okay, neurolinguistics, only 6 multiple choice questions. So no, the stuff we talked about in lecture, of course. And for short answer, there's just one question here with 3 points. You'll be given a short sentence from a book, or maybe 2 sentences. It'll be relatively quick. I'll tell you how the patient has read that sentence out loud, and I'll tell you what the line actually said. So you'll take a look at the errors that the patient has made. You'll tell me which route in the dual route model the patient can access and what type of dyslexia the patient has. So you'll write 1 or 2 sentences, point form is fine, to justify your answer. So this could be deep dyslexia, it could be surface dyslexia, it could be phonological dyslexia. It'll depend on the errors made. Okay, and then in psycholinguistics, there will be 11 points that are multiple choice, multiple answer. There's no short answer here because we only just did this week. So you do have to know the experiments decently. So I would go through the experiments that we did in class, so experiments 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and just understand like why priming occurs. Like if you have, say, one word that is activated or that is pronounced, which words are being primed from it. Or if you have 2 words in a lexical decision task, which one is more likely to be reacted to faster? Or if you have a sentence with a pronoun and some noun with a gender on it, how is it going to be rated? How is it going to be processed? What are the reading times going to be like? So the psycholinguistic section focuses a little bit more on what you would expect to see if you did the experiments, or some reasons for why these experiments happen. So I tried to make them a little bit like the practice questions, but sometimes you're going to get questions in this test that are not like the practice questions. So just as a heads up, the practice questions are good for getting you prepared for a lot of these, but some of the questions on this test are more difficult than the practice questions. Some of the questions on this test do test your understanding of the material in ways that practice questions don't. So that will happen in a few cases, but all of the questions are doable. And again, I'll take a look at each one and make adjustments where necessary. But anyway, this is test 2. If you have any questions, of course, you can email me, post on the discussion board, post on Discord, and all those other places. And I'm happy to answer your questions at any time.